This is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay, and this is a Tay Short. And on this episode, I hope to keep it brief, but I want to talk about my birthday trip to Cappadocia, Turkey. If you would have asked me 6 months ago, where are you celebrating your birthday? I wouldn't have said Turkey, but I did. It was an amazing trip. I had an amazing travel partner, my mom. It was great to celebrate my birthday with her on a trip. I have taken numerous birthday trips, but she's never come along, so it was great to experience this with her. Alright, so bear with me because I just got back. So I'm still a little tired. 7 hours difference, and then with the traveling, waking up early, doing activities. Okay, so I left Monday the 20th May and returned Monday the 27th. So a week. We arrived Tuesday the 21st. So I left Monday. I arrived in Turkey on Tuesday. My birthday is on a Thursday. So just keep that in mind. Arrived Tuesday, birthday on a Thursday, left Monday the 27th. Okay, so I stayed in Design Cave Hotel. Shout out to them, the staff. Shout out to Jacob. They were great. They were amazing. And I'm not just saying that like, oh, I want you. No, they were really good. You know, Jacob, I don't know if he maybe front desk receptionist, and it's not like your typical hotel. These are small hotels, usually about 20 to 15 rooms. I think Design Cave had 20 rooms. But it's like a small boutique hotel. Very like family oriented, you know what I'm saying? Caves. Cave hotel. That's the thing when you go there. It's Cappadocia, cave hotels. You stay in a cave hotel. But yeah, the hotel was cute. The staff was friendly and very knowledgeable. Any questions that my mom and I had, we went to the front desk. We went to Jacob. Jacob was like, here, I got you. We did most of our tours through him or through the hotel. Before I went, I contacted the hotel and said, hey, these are the activities that I want to do. Can you help me book them? And they did. And if you go to their website, probably if you go to any of the websites of the hotels that are there, they'll do something similar where they'll book the tours for you in advance. So all we had to do is pay when we got there. We already had spots. So some of the tours that I booked for my mom and I were the hot air balloon. That's what people go there for. That is one of the main attractions there, the hot air balloon. The green tour, red tour, ATV, and I think those are all the tours that I booked, or activities. But there are numerous activities people go to Cappadocia for. The main one is the balloon, hot air balloon ride. But there's also horseback riding, camel riding. I even saw paragliding. There's mountain biking. Balloon watching. If you're scared and you don't want to pay that money, watch the balloons from a viewpoint. People take pictures. There's a lot to do, but we only did those few things while we were there. I gave myself enough time, so we got there Tuesday, like I said. Tuesday morning we just explored. After we checked in, explored the area, the downtown area. Now, my hotel was about a 7-minute walk from the downtown area, the center the center city, or city center, right? Where everything is. You have all the tour companies there, you have all the restaurants, you have all the gift shops. It's a lot. My hotel was about a 7-minute walk away from all of that, which was great because we're like out of the hustle and bustle of things, you know? We can be in the city in 7 minutes, or we can go out. And it's not like we're going out into the country or anything. It's less congested and less noisier where we were. So after we did that, we went down to the front desk, asked Jacob, hey, where should we go eat? He recommended a restaurant. We walked there, and then we just walked around. And so that was Tuesday. You know, nothing spectacular. Wednesday, I set up a tour for, I think it was the green tour that we went on Wednesday. And another reason why people go to Cappadocia are the fairy chimneys, the rock formations, these unique rock formations, and the churches, the caves. A lot of caves there. These caves were not only used for churches but for living, dwelling. They're underground. There are a couple underground cities there, or maybe more than a couple, but we only saw one. But they're underground cities, caves. Like it's really amazing. So if you're into like geology and like history, it's a great place for you. And Cappadocia has early Christianity history. So if you're into, you know, the Bible and religion, you might want to go check that out as well. So we went on the green tour on Wednesday, did all that. Then Thursday, my birthday. My plan was wake up early, do the hot air balloon, you know, eat lunch, then do the ATV, sunset ATV ride. That was my birthday, right? And those of you that know me, you know I like a little adventure. You know how I get down. So that was my birthday plans. Well, we did get up early. We went to the lobby, 4 a.m., waited for the bus to pick us up, the company to pick us up. And then they took us to this facility that we waited. So we waited at this facility. We had a chance to get breakfast. Nothing, you know, it was just a light breakfast. A couple pastries, fruit, juice. And we waited to get back in the vans to go to the hot air balloons. I think we were there about 4:30. Someone from the company comes out. He says, hey, we're going to wait until like 4:50. You know, we just want to get the okay from air traffic control, and then, you know, we'll go. Okay, cool. 4:50 comes, 4:50 goes. He comes back out and says, hey, we're going to wait till 5:25 and see what they say. You're like, okay, 5:25 comes, 5:25 comes, goes. And he's like, all right, guys, yeah, I don't think we're going to, we're not going. Everything is canceled. Unfortunately, we can't fly today. Air traffic control hasn't given the okay. So we get our money back. They take us back to the hotel. There's that. And that company, I mean, I was excited. My mom, she was nervous because she doesn't like heights, but, you know, we both were, you know, looking forward to it. That company was called Butterfly Balloons. I didn't get a chance to fly with them, but that experience up until then was pretty cool. Yeah, so after that, we go back to the room, rest a little bit, eat breakfast, go explore, we go hike, a little hike, come back, relax a little bit, eat lunch, then get ready for the ATV ride, sunset ATV ride. Same thing, we meet in the lobby, they pick us up, and they take us to the ATVs. I was a little nervous because my mom, like, we get on the ATV, they get, like, she said, I'll ride with you because I've never done it before. And I'm like, Mom, I've only done an ATV ride like twice. Goodness. So my mom got on the back with me. Well, she rode on the back of my ATV. And I was a little nervous because one, I had my mom, and then two, the terrain was a little rough. And I'm like, damn, like I do not need this ATV flipping over, right? So after we got to our first stopping point where we took pictures, I was talking to my mom. I was like, you all right? She was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, all right, cool. All right, so I just got in my head like, Tasia, just take your time, I don't, because we're in a line, it's like maybe 20 people. And I'm like, I don't want to hold people up, but I don't want to speed and, accidentally hit a rock or hit something and flip over, because that won't be good, right? But after our first stop, the terrain got better and a little bit more even, so I felt better. Like, yes, I can do this. But earlier, I was like, I can't do this. One of these guys are going to have to, like, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't feel comfortable. And then even at the end of it, my mom was like, I was a little nervous in the beginning. I was like, we were on the same page. But it was fun. She had a good time. So that was my birthday, Thursday. Friday, we had another free day. So when I go on trips, I like to have activities, do some tours, but also have free days, because I don't want to go, because you're on these tours for like 7 hours, 8 hours. I want to rest a little bit. I want to sleep in a little bit, So Friday was a free day. I'm not even gonna lie. We probably just walked around. I don't remember. We probably were so tired from the previous day, because we woke up at like 3:15 to be ready for the hot air balloon that didn't happen. And then, we did the sunset ATV ride and then got dinner after that. So Friday was more of a relaxed day. We don't have to get up super early, but we still explored. My mom and I are walkers. Like, we like to walk and explore. So that's what we did on Friday, right? Nothing. And I did try to look for companies, hot air balloon companies that were potentially gonna fly on Saturday or Sunday or Monday. Now, the hot air balloons get canceled a lot because of the weather and the wind. And even if you think, the weather's going to be nice, because on my birthday, it was nice, but the wind wasn't cooperating enough with the hot air balloons. So it's literally, you're going to wait. You'll get up in the morning, you go there, and they like, hey, you're not flying. But Friday, they already knew on Thursday they weren't flying. So at least for the people who had it booked, they already knew ahead of time that they didn't have to get up super early and wait for nothing. So Friday, like I said, we explored, tried to find some hot air balloon companies. My hotel did try to find a spot, and he did find one, but they only accepted cash. And that's another thing. Some of these companies don't want to take credit cards, because if they have to refund you and the credit card fees, so they want cash. And then I didn't have enough cash to pay for my mom and I. So I was like, well, I'll look for one as well. They didn't fly on Saturday anyway, so it didn't really matter. Saturday was another tour. I took the red tour. So if you do any research on Cappadocia and tours, you're going to see red and green tour. And the red tour, open air museums, more caves, pottery demonstration. What else? We went to this national or heritage. It was like a national park, I guess you want to say. And they had a lot of different rock formations. It was cool. Of course, ate lunch, you know. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I didn't book this tour ahead of time because one of the, and the tour I'm talking about is the hot air balloon. One of the companies that I found who accepted credit card, they said, you know, contact me Saturday. I was on a tour Saturday. When I got back to my hotel, they were like, hey, we're actually all booked up for Sunday and we are expected to fly. Again, just because they're expected to fly doesn't mean they're actually going to fly. But I said, okay, since you're expected to fly, what else can I do? I can watch the hot air balloons. Like I said, people who don't want to get in the hot air balloons, a lot of them go to watch the balloons, and they'll go to different viewpoints. And then the one that we went to was probably like a 15-minute walk from our hotel, and it cost 20 lira to enter, and 20 lira equals like 62 cents, so per person. So we paid that. We get up to the top. We start seeing these balloons. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. And there was so many people there, right? It was so many people. As the sun was rising, watching these hot air balloons go up. Oh my gosh, so cool. I took a lot of pictures, videos. I was just in awe of it, you know. And at that point, because I didn't have a tour yet, I said, I didn't at that point in the morning, Sunday morning, I was like, well, if I don't get a chance to fly in a hot air balloon, this is good enough for me, right? This is good. I do want to fly in a hot air balloon, but if I don't get that, at least I'm getting to see this up close and personal, right? Like, this is cool. And we did that. I think we went back to the hotel, rested, ate, explored some more, just chilled, you know, because the next day we're leaving, Monday. Now, I did book a tour for Monday morning. My flight wasn't until 1:40, so I had time. Remember, you're waking up at 4, or you're leaving at 4, in the air by 5:30. You know, it's probably an hour. You're down and you're back to your hotel by 7:30 at the latest, depending on when your balloon takes off, right? So I wasn't worried anything about that. And plus, we had packed the previous night, so we were all basically ready. So Monday morning, in the lobby again, take 2, let's try this again. The company that I picked comes up, picks us up in the van, as well as some other people. Then instead of going to a facility, we go straight to the site where the balloons are taking off. They don't have a facility. They had the light breakfast right outside set up for us, and then we could wait in the van if we were cold or we just wanted to sit. Or some people just decided to stand outside and take pictures as they were blowing up the balloons. I did a little bit of both. But there were so many balloons being blown up, so many. Again, we're thinking we're going to do this, but there's a possibility that we won't, because air traffic control has to sign off on it. Okay, so we sit in, it's like 5 something, and I'm like, well, again, I'm like, if I don't get a chance to do this, it's okay. I'm fine. I saw the balloons, I got to experience this part, up until this part, I'm fine. Then one of the guys comes in. He says, "All right, everybody, let's go to the hot air balloon." I'm like, "Wow, we're really about to do this." I'm a little nervous at this point. I'm like, okay, we're really about to do this. Okay, all right. So, the balloon. So there are different sized balloons. There's one that's 28 people. There's one for 20 people, and I think the smallest I've seen was like 16 people. But it's mainly ones that hold 28 and 20 people, right? You pay a little bit more for the least amount of people. So we go to the balloon. I think ours was 28. Honestly, I don't even know. I'm just at 28 because 28 is usually like the standard. So I'm thinking we have this balloon basket that is just like open and everyone gets in. No, it's not like that. You have sections, right? You have sections in the basket. Every section is sectioned off. And in those sections you have people in them. So 4 people, 3 people, 2 people, whatever, right? Now, on one of the tours that I was on, I spoke to people who did the hot air balloon, and they were like, "Yo, it's so amazing, blah, 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 blah." I was like, I was getting amped up. He was like, "But, it could be a little crowded in a balloon." And again, that's what it made me think that, it's just like an open basket, not sectioned off. I didn't know that. So my mom and I climb into the basket, and I'm telling her, I was like, yeah, more people probably get in with us. One of the guys working with us on the balloon, he took the ladder away, and I'm like, maybe he's gonna, give it to someone else and then bring it back. Nope. That was it. It was just me and my mom in our own little section of the basket. I was like, thank you, Lord. Because I did not want to be cramped up with 2 or 3 other people in this basket, So I was so happy about that. And we were right next to the pilot who was controlling the balloon. It was really cool. Then we take off. Then we're off. My mom, scared of heights. Again, she had her eyes closed, holding on to these little straps. I'm just like, Mom, what are you? What you doing? She didn't have her eyes closed the whole way, but she definitely had her eyes closed and was holding on. I'm like, well, do what makes you feel comfortable. Do what makes you feel comfortable. I had my eyes open the whole time, But it was like, I can't explain how amazing this experience was. The views were spectacular. I from just watching the balloons, I was like, "Dope, this is so cool. This is so dope." But being up in the balloon was another level. Again, if you don't like heights, you're gonna be like my mother. You're gonna be like, "Why did I do this?" She definitely was saying, "Why did she do this?" But then she eased up, opened her eyes, looked at the view, and was like, "Wow, this is something." I like it better when we're closer to the ground, but this is something. And I understood her, because at one point we went so high, I just was like, are we supposed to be this high? This is I feel like this is crazy how high we are. It was crazy. I was looking down, and it was so high. I was looking at other balloons. We were the only balloon that high. I'm like, damn. I'm with my mom. All right, yeah, we can go down a little bit. I think our ride was 45-50 minutes, which was good for me. The pilot had originally said, we'll be 40. I mean, he said we'll be 50 minutes to 100, an hour and 10 minutes. So I didn't need that hour and 10 minutes. What we did was good enough for me. But the view was amazing. I see why people come here. I see why people want to experience it, because it was unreal. It was unreal. Watching the sunrise, like I said, we were high. I felt like I was looking at the sun. Like we were directly across from each other. Like, damn, this is high. But no, for real, it was great. The pilot was great. Co-pilot was great. The whole team was really good. Now, pricing. Since if a flight gets canceled, prices go up, because now it's in more demand, right? And depending on, I don't know how all the companies do it, but they'll either try to rebook you or they'll refund you, and then you do it as you please. Like, do you want to rebook? Because most people, when they come to Cappadocia, I don't think they stay as long as my mom and I did. They probably come for like 2 days, 3 days, and then leave. But they recommend that if you're there to do the hot air balloon, definitely give yourself a few days, because it might get canceled. Remember, it got canceled Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 3 days. So that's something to remember if you are planning on going. Definitely give yourself a few days. And unless your flight is at 8 in the morning, I think you have some time. And the airport, the one I flew into, was about 40 minutes away from my hotel. And it's a small airport, and you'll make it. So just give yourself enough time. Unless it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, I think that's the first flight from the airport I flew into. So it's like 8, and then it's like, I think probably 10, and then 1. So it's spaced out a little bit. So if you don't have an early flight, you can do it the day that you leave. I know a couple other people that did it the day before they left as well, because their flights got canceled. Their hot air balloon flights got canceled. So yeah, the price can fluctuate depending on if they're flying, and then the demand. It sucks. Our original flight, I think we paid $38 extra, which wasn't so bad, but just be aware of it. And you can pay up anywhere up to $400-$500. The cheapest I've seen it online is like $125, but I don't know. That might be like off season, starting at $125. I think most of these are starting at $200 and $300 on up. And then, like I said, you'll pay more for a smaller basket or a smaller group of people in a basket. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But I definitely would recommend going to Cappadocia. One thing that we didn't do, and I do want to go back to Turkey and visit other parts, but we only stayed in Cappadocia. We didn't go to Istanbul or other locations in Turkey, which I should have, but I didn't plan it. I just was like, oh, let's just stay here. There's enough to do in Cappadocia for the days that we're here. And it was. I definitely would have liked to seen something different, but next time. And even though, like I said, we flew into Istanbul was our layover. Istanbul, maybe a couple days there, because everyone was talking about it. So I'm like, damn, we just flew in. We're not even leaving the airport. Well, we didn't have time to, but that's something that I would do differently, is go to other parts. But there's always next time, and that's what I plan to do. So maybe stop, go to Istanbul, a few other parts of Turkey, and then go on to another country. What else? Yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot to do there, especially if you're into the outdoors. You'll have a good time there. You'll enjoy it. And a lot of like influencers go there to take pictures of the balloons and then the city streets, and it's cool. It's like a cool vibe there. Everyone was nice to me. People really nice. There's a lot of dogs and there's a lot of cats, so keep that in mind. They don't bother you, but they are around. Everywhere you look, you're like, damn, did I just see that dog? I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, it's not too expensive. I think the most that we paid for a meal was $60, and that was together. But most of the meals were like $30-something, $40 together. So I think that was pretty good. And yeah, bring your walking shoes. Bring some good walking shoes, because you will walk, whether you're on the tour or if you're just staying there. It's hilly, so you depending on where your hotel is. I'm lucky, my hotel was not on a hill, but when we wanted to go see some views and stuff, we had to walk up hills. So, but I had a good time. I had a great birthday, and I'm looking forward to my next trip. But before my next trip, I have a trail run race, 10K, which they said is more like 7 miles. So that is happening Friday the 31st. Wish me luck. I don't know why I do this to myself. It's like, Tasia, what? Why do you do these things? I am looking forward to it though, and it's a great ending to my birthday month, right? First, it was the 5-borough bike tour. Then my trip to Turkey. Now a trail run. Some really cool activities I'm doing, or I did, in the month of May to celebrate my birthday, right? Happy birthday to me. So the next Tay short you'll see will probably be a recap of the trail run race, and then I'll talk a little bit about the 5-borough, because I didn't really speak about that. Yeah. And if you are in New York, or will be in New York, June 23rd, I believe, is the Discover the Hudson ride. So definitely check that out. That is a beautiful ride. Hilly ride, but beautiful. There are different miles different routes and miles that you can do. I think it's 100, it's 75, 55, 33, and I think 15. But you can find out more information about that on the Bike New York's website. So yeah, if you are interested in doing that ride, you can hit me up at Rolling with Tay on Instagram, and I will give you a discount code for 10%. But it's definitely a beautiful ride, for real. I unfortunately will be out of town, so I will not be able to do that ride. But it's so beautiful. Maybe I'll just go up there and ride part of the routes. I don't know. I'll think about that. But thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram at Rolling with Tay. And yeah, this is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.